Hey, Sam, thank you. Portia de Rossi. You may know her as the glamorous actress from TV shows like Ally McBeal and Arrested Development, or you may know her as Portia DeGeneres, wife of funny woman Ellen DeGeneres. Actually did take her name. But she's someone who has struggled also for 15 years with anorexia and bulimia. It's just remarkable, her memoir. So open. Unbearable Lightness is what it's called, and it talks about the turmoil that she went through. Portia, it's great to see you.
Thanks, Robin.
I'm a little winded from walking up the steps so quickly,
Yeah.
so sorry about that. I got to tell you, I've read my fair share of books, especially being on this program, but I'm hard-pressed to remember one that was just incredibly revealing and truly feel it's going to impact many lives. And it goes back to the root of it. And you were a model, which I didn't realize, at a very young age, at 12. It's tough being 12 anyway.
Yes,
but being a model in 12?
Yeah, it was, yes, a 12-year-old model. I mean, from that age, I learned that what I looked like was more important than what I thought, what I did, and who I was. And I think when your self-esteem is based on how you look, you're always going to be insecure. There's always a fresher face, a thinner girl. And while I was thin at 12, I still wasn't model thin, so I had to diet to be professional, to make sure that I kept working. And that's the start of it.
And that is the root of it.
Yeah.
So when we see you, and the first time that many of us got to know you was on the beloved show in the late 90s, Ally McBeal.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a pop culture sensation. And to understand now through reading your book that you were miserable during that time?
Yes, it should have been the best time of my life. I mean, it's the kind of dream job that actresses just pray they get. And yet I was terrified of being exposed as gay. And I think that was really the hardest part of all of a sudden having some kind of celebrity and being on a hit TV show. Who I was completely unacceptable. So I had to create a character of someone I thought that people could accept. So it was hard.
And there was one paparazzi in particular that was just determined to out you, and she did, and in hindsight you're like, hey, thanks a lot. It helped.
Yeah, well, she forced me to come out to my family. She forced me to live a more honest and more open life. So how can you be angry at someone that makes you more honest and ultimately a lot happier?
So you had all these things that were going on in your life, and even Ellen at the time did not realize that you had this problem, this eating disorder. But your family did know, and you wrote so eloquently about your brother, was it, who really thought you were going to die.
Yeah, it was actually when he saw me working out at a gym, and he saw how emaciated I'd become, and I'd never seen him cry before, but he just broke down and said, you're going to die. And although I didn't immediately gain weight, it kind of punctured that obsessive mind of the anorexic thinking, and it made me try to get a little healthier. And eventually, I really do credit him with turning things around for me.
Because at one point, 300 calories? How do you eat just 300 calories? And
well, yeah, 300 calories for a long time. In fact, that was my diet ever since I was 12 years old. I would starve myself daily and then binge after the job was over. And so that was just the diet that I returned to every single time I needed to lose weight. So while I was in the depth of my illness, I would only eat 300 calories a day and obsessively work out. And it was excruciating. It was very hard.
And how are you now, Portia?
Well, you know, it's funny. The classic kind of shot of the anorexic, of looking into a mirror and seeing a heavy person reflected back at her, that never really happened to me. I always saw someone kind of emaciated. Now I look in the mirror and I think I am exactly what I'm supposed to be, and I still don't think I'm perfect, but I accept the fact that I'm not perfect, and I will never be unhealthy like that again, just to achieve thinner thighs or you know, a lower weight.
And when you are able to look back and say that and believe that and think like, why? And there's so many, as you know, so many people who go through this. What is that switch, or is there a switch to be able to stop thinking that way?
I think that it's very gradual, the recovery, but I think that it's important to not be so concerned with how you look. As women, it's really important to be focused on things other than what's on the plate in front of you, and get on with your life and develop your mind and your career, and not be so obsessed with how you look or what you weigh. And I think if more people did that and tried to ignore all the images of stick-thin models that were constantly force-fed, I think that women will be a lot healthier and hopefully stop this chronic dieting that we're all seem to kind of be caught up in.
And it's good to hear that you say that you're conscious and you're healthy, but you're not obsessive about working out anymore. That I know you and Ellen, you love your animals, your dogs and everything, so you just look at a different way.
Yes, I believe in walking, stretching, and breathing.
Okay.
And I think that if we all did something that just made us happy, just some kind of activity that was pleasurable, like walking the dog, or for me, riding my horses is something that I really, really love. And so it's just more about doing something that makes you feel good mentally, and then the physical benefits are just kind of, an aside.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking the two things that you, by your own admission, that you ran from, that you hid from, one being your eating disorder and one being gay. You embrace it. You're like on the cover of People magazine. You have the book. How your life has changed, Portia.
It's really ironic, actually, but it just shows you that if you live your life honestly, and if you can accept who you are, then you'll just reap the rewards. I think that's really the message in this book for me is it's all about self-acceptance and just being able to be comfortable in your own skin. And it took me a really long time to get there, but I'm very happy to say that I am finally there and able to write such a difficult book.
Yeah. You know what? I think you're going to help some other people get there too.
I hope
through reading this. I know that you want to, and I really think that you are. Continued success and blessings in all that you do. And just appreciate your time this morning. Give our best to Ellen. And the horses, and the dogs, and all that.
Thank you.
And you can see more of Portia's story tomorrow night on ABC's Nightline. And if you are suffering from an eating disorder, or if you know someone who is, go to abcnews.com/GMA for a full list of resources and support and treatment that we can hopefully get to you. Next, Dancing with the Stars.